Before making any purchase, it's always wise to do your research, shop around, and make an informed decision. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know I don't ever do that, and here I am today, out and about reviewing the Arctic Fit running vest. A vest that I bought off the internet with absolutely no prior research and no real idea of what I was looking for. Hopefully, this will avoid you doing a Greg and just buying things willy-nilly. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll already know that my approach to running and my running journey from 0 kilometers a day through to 100 kilometers has been less than scientific and definitely not well thought out. So why would me buying kit to help me on my running journey be any different? I'd already run a few 10Ks last year, and whilst I wasn't struggling with the hydration aspect so much, I had noticed that more and more people were turning up with running vests as the weather was getting hotter. And certainly as I was starting to challenge myself and push a lot harder on these races, I started thinking that actually it wasn't ideal for me to be slowing down at the halfway point, to be grabbing a cup of water, glugging it, and then trying to get back up to racing speed. Don't get me wrong, I'm never going to be an Olympic pace setter or winning these events, but I did notice that when I could run past those aid stations, I was actually gaining quite a few positions while people stayed back, took a few seconds rest before continuing on. And if I can gain 1 or 2 positions just by that and drinking little and often on the route, then why not? I started toying with the idea of a hydration belt or a hydration vest, and I'm sure it's completely coincidental, but suddenly on Facebook, my feed started showing adverts for running vests, and in particular one from a company that I've used before called Arctic Fit. So I thought, completely on a whim, why not go on their website and just buy one? Regardless of colour, all of these vests come with 3 LED lights that could be clipped onto the vest and an integrated bottle. Being a conservative guy, I just went for the black colour because pink really doesn't suit my eyes. And here it is in all its glory. And on initial inspections, you can see why it's been priced at £40. It's really decent, robust material, which I always think resonates with Arctic Fit. They've always done good stuff. It's a neoprene type material, so it's got quite a bit of stretch to it. Plenty of perforation on it for the ventilation. Pocket on the back for all your main stuff. And then on the front, your integrated water bottle pouch. Bigger pouch for your mobile phone or anything else you want to put in there. And then equally, you've got your small one up there for house keys, anything like that. So as a running vest goes, it does everything you need. And I really like the fact that they included the LED lights on there. Really, really bright. A couple of modes on there. Not that I really want to give anyone epilepsy, but a good little light there. And I've used these on my other running vests for when I'm doing my ultras, because I'm a slow coach and I'm never going to finish in the daylight hours, and these are invaluable. Key thing though is you need to try it out in the field and actually put it through its paces. So let's go into that part. Positives with this vest. It's very comfy. I can't say anything otherwise about that. I've used it on a 10K trail race. I then used it for practicing for my ultras and went up to 30K wearing this. And all the issues you might expect to hit with a vest that you've not really tried on before, chafing, rubbing. None of that, really good. Certainly I love the fact that it came with the LED lights. And I've used them on all my vests for when I'm doing my ultras, because I'm most likely going to finish in the evening, because I'm not Speedy Gonzalez. Water bladder on the front, really good, robust. Certainly no dramas with that. There's only really one major thing before my in-depth review of it that strikes me with this vest. When I bought it, there was a sizing chart on the website from Arctic Fit that said, you know, ideally suits people between these measurements, and I knew when I was buying it that I was very much at the kind of upper echelon of that sizing chart. Because of that, as you can see, I've got the 2 front straps fully let out. I've also got the side strap on both sides fully let out as well, and it's still quite clingy, which, you know, not the worst thing. You want your vest to fit tight to your body. However, when I'm doing the long distance or building up pace, I find myself constantly kind of having to pull down and stop it from hitching up too much. A proper first world problem, but it gets a bit distracting on those longer runs, and that's certainly something, if I was to really do my research and if I'd have been able to try it on beforehand, I probably wouldn't have gone for this vest. That being said, I've worn it, I've run with it, and I quite like it, so I've kept it. So it's obviously not that much big of a problem. As I said at the start of the video, this was very much an impulse buy. I was thinking about buying a running vest. I saw a running vest advertised. I bought the running vest. And I'm in a real quandary with how to review this, because quite honestly, I bought it with no real idea what I was looking for. And as a product, it's bloody good. I like the manufacturing of it. I like the quality of the materials. I like the little additions like the LED lights. Ultimately though, if I was to have my time again, would I buy this? No. As a stockier person, this is just a bit too snug. And I knew when I looked on the website and it said suitable up to a 44-inch chest, that being someone who sits in that 42 to 44-inch bracket, it was probably going to be a little bit more snug than ideal. But when I compare it to other running vests that I bought subsequently, it's just not as comfortable. The other part of it is I sweat quite freely. 10 minutes into any run, any warm-up, any difficult crossword, I'm starting to lose salt. And again, with this in comparison to my other vests, I don't know whether it's the neoprene material or just the way they've shaped the vest, I just seem to sweat far more when I'm using that. Again, for a short run, that's not a massive drama, but when I'm looking to train over 30 to 40k, that is a real detriment to me. The other side of the coin is, because I want to do longer distances, this isn't built really to carry all that extra kit. And I certainly found that whilst the rear pocket is quite useful for carrying a battery pack for my phone, a snack, a few other little bits, if you try and put anything too bulky in there, you can really feel it pushing into your back, and it suddenly loses the kind of comfortable aspect of it. But if you're just looking to use it for a road marathon, a half marathon, or smaller than that, it's a great vest. And it's certainly something I would recommend to other people. And as I've said before, I've seen loads of people wearing these at events. Admittedly, they tend to be slightly more runner shaped than I am. But it's something to bear in mind. Ultimately, as with the trainers, as with your nutrition, anything you're going to look to buy, you need to try yourself, because everyone has different needs, different things they're looking for. As a product, it's good. Unfortunately, it's just not quite hitting the mark for me. C'est la vie.